The chapter Chemical Reactions and Equations of Class 10. Let us discuss about the following terms. First of all, what are the chemical reactions? The breaking and making of bonds between different atoms to produce new substances is called chemical reaction. This is the most technical definition of the chemical reaction. Usually the chemical reaction involves the making and breaking of the bonds. If there is no breaking of bonds, new bonds cannot be possible to form and responsible for creating the products. So the chemical reaction involves the breaking and making of bonds between different atoms to produce new substances. Usually there are two types of changes, namely physical and chemical changes. What are the physical change? Physical change involves the change in the phase or the state of a substance. For example, melting of ice. Melting of ice involves the change of a solid state into liquid state. Second is the rusting of iron. Rusting of iron involves the chemical change in which a new substance is formed. Usually the pillars of the metal that is made up of iron get rusted in the presence of air and moisture. So the metal get corroded after some time and it will change the color, and after some time it will be degraded if we will not take care of the substances like metals. That is the rusting of iron. It involves the chemical change. Next is the formation of curd, that is related to the food products, or the change in the formation of curd is the chemical change. That is the change from milk converted into curd. So reverse change is not possible here. So irreversible changes are the chemical changes. In the same way, the reversible changes are physical changes. So there are the examples like melting of ice, rusting of iron, and formation of curd. These are the examples which involves the physical and chemical change, and both the changes are included in the chemical reactions, that is depicted by the symbols of the elements while writing chemical equation. Now the question of comparison in between the two concepts, that is physical change and chemical change. First point is to discuss is regarding the physical change. This change is a temporary change. This change is a temporary change. How can you analyze it is a temporary change? You know about the melting of ice, that is example of physical change in which the interconversion of the solid state into the liquid state, and reversibly it is possible to change the liquid into solid again by freezing. So it is a reversible change also, and it is possible to interconvert, so it is a temporary change also, and this change can be reversed by simply physical methods. Physical methods. During the conversion of the physical state Is there any change in the energy that is absorbed or released? Sometimes it is not observable. In case of the physical changes, energy may or may not be released or absorbed during the process of physical change. So let us discuss about the physical change. Point number 1 is this change is temporary. Second, no new substance is formed. There is a change that is only in physical properties. Physical properties is related to the physical state, color, shape, size. So there is a change in the physical state here. So no new substance is formed, that is interconvertible, and there is change only in the physical properties. Next, change can be reversed by simple physical methods like boiling, freezing, condensation, evaporation, sublimation. Next point, energy may or may not be released or absorbed. There is no remarkable change in the energy here in case of physical change. If we compare the physical change to chemical change, what are the points to remember here? If we call the physical change is temporary, but chemical change is permanent, like rusting of iron that cannot be reversed. So the new substance is formed in case of chemical change, and it leads to the change in the chemical properties also. So these are the points regarding chemical change. Next, this change cannot be reversed by simple methods or the physical methods. And the point regarding energy is that energy is released or absorbed during the chemical change. Like carbon combines with oxygen to form carbon dioxide. This is the oxidation of carbon as a coal or coke. Here is a combination that is taking place, and combination involves the release of energy. And release in energy indicates the exothermic reaction. Exo means the energy, form of energy is escaping out or released from the process that is going on. So to sum up the following points of differences between physical and chemical change. So chemical change involves the change that is permanent. No new substance is formed with entirely different physical and chemical properties. New substance is formed during the chemical change, and the change cannot be reversed simply or by simple methods. And energy is released or absorbed during the chemical change. If the energy during the chemical change is absorbed, like calcium carbonate on heating gives calcium oxide with carbon dioxide, it means this symbol indicates the supply of heat, and supply of heat represents endothermic reaction. Supply of heat represents endothermic reaction. Endothermic, it means heat is entered into the system. Endothermic indicates that heat is absorbed by the system. So this process that is involving the heat in the form of absorption is related to chemical change. So these are the following points of differences between physical and chemical change. Along with that, you can cite the examples of the physical and chemical changes like melting of ice, is a physical change. Boiling of water is a physical change. But in case of chemical change, oxidation of food, is a chemical change. Rusting of iron is a chemical change. Melting of candle is also a chemical change. But if melting of wax is there, then it is considered as the physical change. So wax can be molded into the different shapes of the candle. So it goes to physical change. So you can cite the following examples easily to correlate the points of differences between physical and chemical change. Now in conclusion, simply chemical change involves the chemical process that cannot be reversed, that cannot be interconvertible. It is a permanent change. So any change that involve chemical changes, that is a chemical reaction. So the chemical reaction is the change that involves chemical changes. ऐसी रिएक्शन जिसमें केमिकल चेंजेस हो रहे होते हैं वो हमारी केमिकल रिएक्शंस से रिप्रेजेंट की जाती हैं. Now this is the major point to remember here. You can put it as a star. बात आती है इक्वेशन को रिप्रेजेंट करने की. नाउ द इक्वेशन दैट इज गिविंग इंफॉर्मेशन regarding the reactants and products. So how will you identify the reactant and products and their physical states? So we have to indicate some abbreviation or the symbols which indicates the physical state of the following substances as reactant and products. So the informative equation is the representation of physical state using symbols. So these are the symbols here. First of all, for solid state, small s is written. For liquid, small n. For gas, you can represent G. And for gaseous substances, we can indicate the upper headed arrow. It means the gas is escaping out from the process. Next is the water soluble solution. Water soluble substances can be indicated by aqueous. It means it is present in molten form. Next is the precipitate. Precipitate is a insoluble solid substance that cannot be, that is insoluble, so can be easily separated out from the solution. It is represented by the down-headed arrow along with the symbol S. It means it is the insoluble solid mass present in the solution that is called as precipitate. Next is reaction conditions. Reaction conditions like temperature, pressure, catalyst. These can be indicated above the arrow or below the arrow. Sometimes for heat we are using the symbol delta above the arrow or sometimes below the arrow. No problem, wherever you will write the symbol of heat. So these are some basic informative symbols that can be used in a chemical reaction while writing or while understanding the concept of the chemical reaction. So these are some informative points in this video. I hope you found this video informative. So please like, subscribe and share the channel. Thank you.